Do you want to play our new video game?
I can fix that.
There's no going back.
What is up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the engagingly eccentric Dr. Disaster, and Bungie has been trying their damnedest to hide the work that they've been doing for Marathon over the past few months after their alpha test that had no NDA, giving people the ability to see the game way early. But now they're trying to keep things about Marathon hidden, and yet pieces keep getting leaked.
How can he see me?
Now, you may recall that back in the spring, when Marathon was originally revealed, the character designs were laughed at and mocked by gamers, along with the overall art design in general, which a lot of that was stolen, making it even worse. But anyhow, all of the art for Marathon was revealed, and people naturally recoiled from this crap.
Feast your eyes! Well!
The art in this game is just bland and ugly. The characters are androgynous, and within a matter of days, they lost 80% of their player base in the alpha for this game. After getting the feedback on this turd, Bungie decided to push the release of Marathon back from its original September launch date in order to fix things. They're running some playtests right now, and this time they do have non-disclosure agreements in place to prevent people from sharing any of the new designs and changes, but a leak has happened anyhow, and I've got to tell you folks, after seeing the leaks, clearly the people at Bungie are not listening to gamers. The truth is, these people are incapable of understanding the lessons from the market.
You were literally too stupid to insult.
Because here's the thing, Bungie has clearly been trying to make it sound as though things are being fixed in the background. There have been rumors of a complete overhaul of their art designs, which is at least partially what they need to do in order to try to turn this project around. And as you can see from the headline of this article from Game Rant, the game journalists are really trying to make it sound like this leak shows that the game has been fixed. But as you can see here, the current iteration of the game looks like more of the same. This is the new character reveal from the game. The characters are still ugly, androgynous, slop designs, and upon seeing how Bungie quote-unquote fixed Marathon, my reaction is basically, Alright me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, I've begun uploading some content onto Rumble, so follow me over there, and don't forget to follow me on X, where I keep a list of games lousy with wokeness pinned to the account at all times for your reference. My handle on the platform is Dr. Disaster 1. But anyhow, let's take a look at all of the things that we are learning from the leaker who shared information from this recent playtest of the game. As I'm sure a lot of you recall, Bungie is paying playtesters $500 to play their game for an hour a day at specific times every day for about a month. Think about how far this studio has fallen, where they are having to resort to paying people $500 in order to get them to playtest their newest game. Imagine if the opportunity to playtest Halo 3 back in the day had existed. Some gamers with deep pockets would have gladly paid Bungie $500 to have a chance to playtest that game, and they certainly would have been willing to do it for more than an hour a day. But Bungie simply isn't the same studio that they once were. Every time a studio like this releases a new trailer for one of their games, they always make sure to start it off by saying, "From the makers of Halo, from the makers of Destiny." But by now, that is really just stolen valor for a company like Bungie. The people working there these days have made jack and shit. But anyways, let's take a look at what was leaked from this game. This article here comes to us from Insider Gaming. It reads, Marathon was supposed to be released later this month, but in June, the game was delayed considerably to allow Bungie to recover from some struggles that arose from alpha playtests. It was always going to be tough to release a game weighed down by accusations of art theft and suffering from a morale freefall. And if you don't remember, this morale freefall was reported on by game journalists who told us that there were a bunch of developers working at Bungie who tried to tell the bigwigs at the company that Marathon was just horribly designed all the way through, but they didn't feel listened to at all, as if these executives just didn't value their opinions. So there has apparently been a terrible morale problem at the studio as a consequence. But reading on, the article says next, the game is now undergoing further tests that are guarded by an NDA, but of course, that hasn't stopped content from leaking online. Recently, those leaks included information about a new runner, fresh maps, and some upgrades made over previous versions of the social extraction shooter. Probably the most important piece there is the fact that they are adding some new maps. I don't know who needs to hear this, but putting out a shooter that has only 3 maps to fight in is levels of stupid and lazy that I don't want to believe is possible in the gaming industry, and yet here we are. It's especially awful that they were planning to release a shooter with only 3 maps that did not have a campaign mode at all, and yet they were planning to charge $40 for that small amount of content. That should tell you everything you need to know about the nincompoops who designed Marathon. But the fact that they're making new maps is at least something. At this point, it won't save them, but it is a positive move. But the article tells us next, users participating in the latest Marathon tests have been slipping tidbits of information out from within the inner circle, NDA or no. On social media, one user picked up on the leaks and started propagating them before being promptly crushed by Bungie's DMCA strikes and being forced to relinquish all posts. That didn't stop the details emerging though. First, eagle-eyed gamers recognized a UI update that has evolved certain menus, such as the main faction screen. This fragment also revealed that all 6 of Marathon's core factions are playable in this test. It was also noted that a total visual overhaul has been rendered upon these factions, including an intro cinematic for each faction that offers a little backstory. But the thing is, based on this image here that I showed you before of this new character, I'm not sure what they mean when they say a visual overhaul has happened, because apparently my thoughts on what that term means is wildly different from their definition of a visual overhaul. This is not an overhaul. This is literally just doubling down on the weird, robotic cyberpunk designs that they had going for the game in the first place. Now, to be fair, this isn't surprising in the least though. When Bungie announced that they were going into the tank and changing things up for Marathon, my expectations were that they would add a couple of features, like proximity chat, which was always asinine to disinclude in the first place. But anyhow, I figured that they'd really just spend their time waiting for the negative PR surrounding the game to die away. This move appeared to me to be quite similar to what Ubisoft did last year with Assassin's Creed Shadows. They told everyone that they were going to be fixing bugs and that sort of thing, but in truth, they were waiting people out and hoping that the negative sentiment surrounding the game would fizzle. But in this regard, Bungie is shit out of luck. If they hide their creation for a few months and then don't do anything to make it look more appealing to gamers, then when when they poke their heads out from whatever hole they've been hiding in, we are simply going to have another laugh at their expense when they show us that nothing substantive has changed. The tastes of players isn't going to magically transform over the next few months. The game journalists can try to pretend that this is some big fix in an attempt to protect their corporate masters, as they do with this article here, but Marathon is fundamentally broken. The gameplay was slow and disliked, and this leak doesn't address that at all. The characters and art design were ugly, and it was ripped off from some random artist to top it all off, and this shit has not been fixed at all. Putting a band-aid on a bullet wound is not going to convince players to drop $40 on this turd, but I'm gonna leave it there. What do you think of these leaks? Are you suddenly converted? Are you suddenly ready to give Marathon a try? Or are you as unimpressed as I am? Drop your thoughts into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.